Images taken at the Dailian Shipyard in northeastern China have indicated that significant progress is being made in the early stages of construction of the country's next-generation supercarrier. The country's shipbuilding industry has completed 3 carriers capable of accommodating manned fixed-wing aircraft, including its first supercarrier, the Fujian, which was laid down sometime in 2015 and launched in June 2022. At 80,000 tons, the Fujian is by far the largest warship in the world outside the U.S. Navy, and is the only non-American supercarrier fielded anywhere worldwide. The Fujian is expected to be the only ship of its class, however, with its successor being developed under the Type 004 program, reportedly set to displace between 110,000 and 120,000, making it the largest warship ever built. It is also being reported that China, which is building the world's largest supercarrier, plans to operate its 6th-generation fighter jets from it and also intends to deploy next-generation stealth drones. The new supercarrier is speculated to have been developed as the first of a new class, with several other vessels of the same design likely to follow it. Satellite imagery from Dalian indicate that modular assembly of hull sections has begun, which would be a first step towards construction closely coinciding with the expected conclusion of the Fujian sea trials. A number of reports have indicated that the new supercarrier will be nuclear-powered, with reports published in November 2024 indicating that a land-based nuclear reactor prototype designed to power surface warships was being constructed near the city of Lishan. The use of nuclear power would provide the supercarrier with a significantly higher endurance than the Fujian, allowing it to operate into the far seas without relying on refueling support, while also allowing it to sustain higher speeds for longer periods. Nuclear-powered surface ships are currently few and far between, with the U.S. Navy's own 11 supercarriers, the small French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle, and Russia's 2 Kirov-class cruisers, being the only examples. Indeed, the United States stands apart in this regard. All of its 11 active aircraft carriers are nuclear-powered, and the roughly 70 submarines it operates are also entirely nuclear-powered. In contrast, both China and Russia also possess nuclear-powered submarines, but in much smaller numbers. This is because more than half of their submarine fleets consist of diesel-electric submarines, whereas every submarine in the U.S. Navy is nuclear-powered. Despite their advantages, such ships are considerably more costly both to produce and to sustain, which has raised questions regarding the cost-effectiveness of China's development of a nuclear-powered supercarrier should it be primarily intended to operate in the Western Pacific. The expansion of naval operations across the Pacific, including for exercises near the coast of the United States, could provide a rationale for investing in such a ship. Western threats to Chinese trade routes in the far seas, including in the Arctic and into Southeast Asia, also provide an important rationale for investment. China's aircraft carrier program has made very significant strides in recent years, not only integrating the world's first non-US electromagnetic propulsion system onto the Fujian, but also operationalizing an air wing on the ship that is in many respects the most capable in the world. The J-35 and J-15T fighters, J-15D electronic attack jet, and KJ-600A EW&C, which form the core of the Fujian's air wing, are expected to also be fielded on the new larger carrier, potentially in greater numbers. With China expected to bring its first 6th-generation fighters into service in the early 2030s, and to lead the world by several years in doing so, the possibility of a carrier-based 6th-generation fighter also being fielded on the new supercarrier by the middle of the decade is also very significant. China's ongoing construction of its next-generation Type 004 supercarrier marks a major leap in global naval capabilities and highlights Beijing's determination to challenge U.S. dominance at sea. With an expected displacement of over 110,000 tons, it will surpass even the Fujian, currently the world's largest non-American warship, and could become the most powerful surface vessel ever built outside the United States. The carrier's likely nuclear propulsion system would grant it unprecedented range, endurance, and operational flexibility, enabling China to project power far beyond the Western Pacific and secure its vital trade routes across the globe. The new supercarrier's planned integration of 6th-generation fighter jets and stealth drones further reflects China's ambition to achieve full-spectrum air-sea dominance. That's all for today's update. Please subscribe and like this video.